everybody, it's Down Home with Tina. I am out here on location, the Henry Manor, as I have been the last few weeks. It's such a really nice and beautiful place. The days that we're out on location is rather warm. So I feel like with the fan going, I've got the breeze going through my hair. Yeah, no, that's a man-made air is what that is. Today I'm wearing my mask because I do have a couple of 4-Hers that are joining me here in the show, and I'm really excited to have them. And they are required due to what they expect you to with 4-H and as a 4-H member to wear your mask. So I wanted to do the same as well. But what I didn't know, and I guess things just work out the way they're supposed to work out, is that my daughter made this mask for me to match my skirt, one of my skirts that I had just recently made. And I don't want to spend too much time on that. But what's really awesome, though, and I love this, is that the 4-Her that I have, my very first one of the show today, she happens to have done some 4-H projects in sewing, correct? Mm-hmm. Forgive me because I'm trying to hold my mask up here. I talk so much it sometimes moves down a little bit. But anyways, Sophia is with me, and she's with Rough Riders and Thurston Flying Fingers 4-H Club. So I'm really glad that you had taken the time to be with me. How are things going this year, Sophia?
Really good. It's a little difficult to be doing everything online, but we've been adjusting, and it's really neat how we can still do everything.
Now, do you go to public school or homeschool?
I go to public school.
Okay, so did that prepare you for this when that happened in the wintertime for school?
It did. It helped, and yeah. I kind of learned to adjust to it.
Yeah. So are you guys meeting with your club members at all?
I actually have a meeting tomorrow, and I believe it's going to be in person, but we're going to be outside so we can all kind of distance.
Yeah, keep that going, the social distancing and everything. So if you would please tell everybody how long you've been in 4-H.
I have been in 4-H for 11 years, and I've taken many projects.
Do you have a favorite?
I think my favorite is embellishing, given my jacket.
Right. Oh, I love it. Why has it been your favorite, and why did you decide to try that type of 4-H project? Because I've never heard of that one.
I like embellishing because you can kind of like personalize your own thing. You can just have fun with it and do whatever you want. Yeah. And I really enjoy it.
So it's like showing that creativity that you have. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how did you do this year on this project? Because is it this year project or?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I got outstanding of the day.
Oh, you did. So tell me a little bit about that. What's that about? What's that mean?
So they weren't able to do like first and second place this year because we didn't have a state fair. So they just did like outstanding of the day, which was kind of like the first place of the day, and they picked 2 in each category, and I was one of the.
How did they do that judging?
So we had a Zoom call. We had to like make appointments, and they just ask you questions about your projects, and I just go through my book and show them everything that I've done, talk about it, and then at the end I let them ask the questions, and I talk as much as I can about my project.
And that's just showing the knowledge that you have on it and what you. So what lessons have you learned, Sophia, throughout your career so far? Because you have a couple of years left.
Yeah. Well, I've learned a lot of like responsibility with different things, like because I take some animal projects too. So I also learned how to like take care of animals, and I learned like responsibility and leadership through all those, and it's a lot of fun.
How many different projects have you had throughout the year? Do you have a number that you know, or not really counted them up?
This year I took I kind of dialed it down on the projects and spent more time like focusing on the bigger ones, and I think I took about maybe 3 or 4 projects this year, but there have been many in the past years.
Is there a max on projects usually a year? I think 5 I've heard, or can you take more than that? Idealistically, I guess. It's really
I don't really think there's a limit.
Wow.
Because my sister, she takes as many projects as she can.
And she's coming up next. Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? When you're passionate about something, good for her. So what project do you have today that because you do have your poster here to talk about it?
Part of my embellishing project. So I use this in my judging to help explain different things. So like these are different test swatches I had because I hand painted my jacket, everything on it.
Beautiful.
And there's like different pictures of the inspiration I got from the jacket, the whole thing, and the things that I used to embellish the jacket.
So over there it would be on your left, everybody watching it would be the right. You did testing on the jacket with different paints to see how it would do on different denim. Is that what that is?
Yeah, I got like denim scraps and I just kind of tested it out because I used acrylic paint and textile medium, so when you mix it, it like turns it into a fabric paint.
Oh, wow.
So I did different tests with those to see how it would work.
How do you learn about things like that, Sophia? Is it trial by error?
Yeah.
Like, or, because a lot of people Google something and they'll see something on one of those social media or Pinterest or something, and then they try it out. So did you just kind of learn as you went along?
Yeah, we heard about textile medium from a friend, and then we bought it and we tested it out on some scraps and then did it on the final jacket, and it worked pretty well.
So you bought the jacket and then you did the embellishment.
I did.
On it. Oh, I think that's really, really cool. And you've got some pins on there too as well. I know, that's kind of like something that we did back in the day. I mean, we didn't paint it. Did they paint it? No, I'm going way back. We did the tie-dye thing back then, or the acid wash, I think is what it was. You kind of, experienced in bleach and things like that.
Yeah.
But no, I like this much better. I think you have more control, don't you?
Yeah.
What are you looking forward for the next year then?
I'm looking forward to taking this project again and hopefully going to State Fair.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we just all hope and yes, fingers crossed that things get back to somewhat more of a normal for our 4-H kids. I want to thank you so very, very much for being with me today. We are going to get to our next guest, which happens to be her sister, who she says takes as many projects. We're going to find out all about Gabby when she comes up here next. You're watching Down Home with Tina.
Hi, I'm Amanda Wattenberg, Regional Director at Ohio Guidestone. Do you or does someone you know have a substance abuse disorder? Have you been thinking about getting help, but don't know where to start? It takes a lot of courage to ask for help, but it's the most important step you can take. If you think you know everything that's available in Fairfield County, think again. Like other chronic diseases, addiction can be managed successfully. Treatment enables people to counteract addiction's powerful, disruptive effects on the brain's behavior and regain control of their lives. Even if it takes multiple attempts, treatment does work and people do recover from addiction every day. So keep trying because your life matters. You matter, and we're here to help. Call 211 and ask for the treatment resources available right here in Fairfield County.
This message is brought to you by the Fairfield County Adam H. Board.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. It is a very special Down Home with Tina show. I've got a couple of 4-H'ers. I'm on my second one, and then coming up, the next segment is going to be Connie Smith from Fairfield County OSU Extension. She is Master Gardner Coordinator, and hopefully she's going to be able to help us. I say us, it's like I have a mouse in my pocket. Number one, I don't even have a pocket, and number two, it's me because I keep killing my hanging baskets. So she's going to talk to us about gardening and mowing and what is the right thing to do and all of that. I'm sure she's got a lot to share with me about what the right thing to do. But let's get to my 4-H member with me today. Her name is Gabby, and this is her last year, and I cannot imagine, Gabby, what it has been like with you. She is with the Rough Riders 4-H Club, by the way. How are you?
I'm good. Yes, 4-H has definitely been a lot different online. I mean, the good thing is I had a great year last year. I got lucky. I treated last year as my final year because with me starting college, I was like, I don't know how much 4-H I'll get to do this year, which is good that I did treat it as that last year.
Absolutely. It's almost, I think this is something that is teaching the younger generation that give it your best each year because you never know what might come next.
Exactly.
It's a hard lesson, of course, to learn, and it's not one we want anybody to have to go through, but I'm glad that you did and you got to experience in that way emotionally. because I think that is very, very important. And the reason why is because, I guess I can't get to that yet. I don't want to get to that yet because you're in college and you're doing
Yes.
something really, really cool. But how many different projects have you had throughout your 4-H career?
Oh man, more than I can count. When I first started 4-H, I kind of did a couple that I enjoyed, and then my mom and I would look through the catalog of all the 4-H books, and I was like, oh, well, we're going to do this one and this one and this one. I mean, I've done so many, I can't even remember them all.
Did you sometimes choose some of them just because you thought it would be neat to learn about that?
Oh, yes. Some of them was just a random, hey, you know, this might be interesting, this might be fun, why not?
What was your most challenging one? Do you have one of those?
I gotta say, the most challenging one was Global Gourmet, which was you made foods from around the world, and it was amazing. But the thing that killed me was it's not like any other nutrition book where you just make one little tiny food thing. You had to make an entire meal, and so I would spend the entire day just making all these meals.
Wow, what was the most interesting meal that you made? Like from another country, I guess.
I gotta
or
say
culture.
the Mexican meal, because it was just, there's so much variety and so many different Mexican foods that I didn't realize, or because I mean, yes, I had fajitas before, but it was like there's so much more to it, so much more stuff that I had no idea.
American Mexican is probably different than the
Yes.
traditional Mexican.
Yes, it was
that's
so
out
much
there.
different.
Yeah. Wow, that is really cool. So we're going to talk about a project that you've done this year. Which one do you want to talk about?
So my favorite one this year was, so I'm going to OSU to be a horse veterinarian. So my favorite one was a vet project. I took year 3. I actually started year 1 probably 2 years ago. And each of these books are supposed to be done under a 3-year time period. But since I started it, obviously 3 years ago, I was like, crap, I only have 3 years in 4-H left. All right, let's do everything and just say yes. This year, with everything being online, I had a lot of trouble completing this book because most of this book was in-person stuff. They wanted you to shadow with a vet, which I was able to do last year, which was nice at least. But it was very hard. I was able to do a lot of it online, which was good, but it was still just a lot of challenges.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, they wanted me to watch surgeries, which is good that we have things like YouTube so I can go on and watch these surgeries.
They let you use that?
Yes.
Good.
So yeah, and I was still able to compete and get a good grade on it. I ended up taking, I want to say 4 or 5 projects this year, and I was able to get outstanding in all of them, which was good with the online option.
What are some of the lessons that you've learned through your 4-H career?
So I have definitely learned a lot about responsibility for the big part. Again, I'm big into horses. I do lots of rodeo events, but with having to take care of my horse every day, having to keep records of my horse, having to care for her leading up to a show and after a show differently because she's going in to do something that's going to be straining on her joints. So the whole massage therapy aspect, the whole changing up the feed to give her some more energy for this oncoming show.
Does this help you to prepare for your adult life and career, what you're going to have?
It really has. It actually made me interested in the vet field in general. So that's when I really got excited about it. I really started shadowing with different veterinarians to kind of help me to understand the different ways and the different things I'd have to do. So.
Absolutely. Gabby, I want to thank you so much for being with me today, and best of luck in your career, and awesome that you have done all of these things, and I hope that it's encouraged one of you, if you're a parent or if you're a young adult or a young teen and you're interested in trying out 4-H, that it will help to encourage you to maybe move forward and do that, because look where it can lead you. I mean, to great things, I think. But anyways, don't go anywhere. Coming up is a gal that I had mentioned earlier in the segment, Connie Smith, who she's going to help hopefully teach us some things, because I know I have a lot of things that I need to be taught. We'll be back in a minute. It's Down Home with Tina.
Dagger Law has been part of the Lancaster community for more than 110 years. This is where we live and work. You'll see us at festivals, sporting events, and all around town. We consider our clients as friends, and we walk alongside you through challenging times. Whether you're a growing business, a changing family, facing litigation, planning your future, or dealing with land issues, we're right here. We are local. We are trusted. We are experienced. Dagger Law.
It is Down Home with Tina Thompson here, and it's been a great and fun show, learning so many things. And next we are going to learn some things from Connie Smith. She is with the Fairfield County OSU Extension, and she is the Master Garden Coordinator.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I was just telling Connie, because of course with her being Master Gardener and all that, I'm like, we're going to talk about lawn care,
Yeah.
and I'm that mad mower. And I'm not joking the least bit, because, and I realized this just a few days ago when I was mowing, because I wait until I absolutely have to mow.
Yeah.
And then I'm out there, and I've got a push mower, because my lawn's not big enough for a riding mower. And I'm that mower that if the neighbors are looking at me, they're like, she is one mad mower out there. I'm going faster than the self-propel on the mower is. I have had blister on my hand because I just
Yeah.
want to get it finished. And I thought, why am I being like this? I have so much dirt because the people that had the house before, it's not a really good lawn. So I'm eating dirt, I'm throwing up dirt, I'm wearing dirt. I feel like a big piece of dirt.
Yeah.
And I'm
Well, I'll tell you
done.
what, let us help you figure out how to have a better lawn
What can
in
I do?
the areas that you have. The one thing you can do right now is a lot of people will look at their lawns and they'll think, oh my gosh, it's dead. And that's only because we've had a lack of rainfall. You know, we've kind of been in a droughty situation in Fairfield County. The other thing that's happened is people look at their lawn and they see those brown patches. It's not really dead, it's just dormant. And when a lawn goes dormant, what it does is the top growth just turns brown. The roots are really trying to protect themselves to come back and regenerate themselves in the fall and in the winter.
Should we
when
leave
it cools
those
off.
be then?
You leave them be. You
Okay.
absolutely leave them be. The other thing you do, my friend the mad mower, is you don't mow. And you leave your grass up to where it's about, really this time of year, it should be 3 inches tall or taller. So if are you the mad mower that likes to see the mowing stripes in the lawn?
No, actually, I'm that mower that I will let the grass grow until my dog is looking for a place to go to the bathroom, and yet I'm still under the rules of the village.
Okay,
From
okay,
getting
okay,
called on.
okay.
I'm not. I do let it wait until
Okay.
there's just certain parts that are where the
Okay,
the
well
dirt-
what you
but
really
yeah.
want to do with that is you want to lift the deck of your mower up as high as it will go, so you're not like tearing your lawn up.
Okay,
But
yeah.
you're also letting those dormant patches shade themselves a little bit. Because when we get into 90-degree days, and think about all those 90-degree days we had in July, and think about how it tried to protect itself, and if you're not watering your lawn to keep it generated and to keep the plants getting water, it doesn't matter what kind of landscape plant you have, every plant needs an inch of water a week.
Oh,
Whether Mother
okay.
Nature provides it or whether you provide it through a garden hose, that's what it needs. So when we went through hot, dry temperatures, the grass was really trying to protect itself. Now, if you're looking at your lawn and you're thinking, this lady is crazy, I like to mow my lawn in a certain way every week, and I want to see where the blade went, I want to see, I want to see all that. Well, I'm going to tell you, I got thrown off of the mower at my house. You don't do it right, you want to scalp the lawn, don't be doing that anymore, so I was relieved of my duties, which is fine, it's
On
all
purpose?
good.
Was that on purpose?
It was on
Connie?
purpose, it might have been on purpose.
Might have been,
But
but
we're
we
not
won't
going to
admit
tell
it.
anybody, we're not going to tell anybody that. But the other thing you can do in the fall is, as we head into maybe where it's going to get a little cooler, we ought to think about that fall fertilization, and that can begin to happen the middle of September up through Halloween, actually.
What do you recommend as far as the fertilization?
Just a basic fall fertilization as far as any kind of lawn care fertilization package. You also, if you have a lot of broadleaf weeds that you need to control, fall is the best time to do those.
Okay.
Okay, so go to the garden store, start looking around at weed control for broadleaf weeds in your lawn, and then have a fertilized package with it. And most of them have a broadleaf weed killer with a fertilizer. Best time to do that is in the fall, because if you think, oh, I'm not going to do it this fall, I'll wait till next spring, put fertilizer on your lawn in the spring, and then see how quickly you get to mow your lawn and how many times you get to mow your lawn in May when the grass is ready to grow anyway.
Gotcha.
So sometimes we get tricked by what retail has out there for us to look at as far as fertilize your grass in the spring and it'll make it healthy all season long. You're much better to put it on in the fall when our temperatures start to cool off a little bit. Your grass is starting to come back. It's not that droughty looking grass that you may see. But let's say you might have some spots that really need to be repaired in your lawn. That fall seeding starting about the 10th of September to kind of scratch those up, get good seed to soil contact. That's a perfect time to control weeds in your landscape and do some reseeding, do some repair work more than anything else.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
What do you recommend for fall flowers? I know I have told you I have killed my hanging baskets. I'm giving up on those. I'm going to do another project I'll share with folks later, because then I can't kill flowers if they're artificial.
Okay.
But I mean, I can't, I don't know, but what do you recommend for, maybe not hanging baskets, but during the fall for flowers, if folks want those through the fall?
You know, I think everybody loves a good mum. I think everybody loves great looking mums.
When should we do that?
Oh, I wouldn't do that until September.
Okay.
Until they start coming out. The other thing I would think about doing is, I'm a pansy fan, spring and fall. So I do pansies in the spring and fall. I would also tell you, if you've got an area in your landscape that you've lost plants, or you have thought about, well, I want to put this tree in. I need more shade, or I need this or that. Fall is absolutely the best time for planting.
Okay.
Because it's the same thing almost with our lawns. It starts to cool off. We hope to get water. You don't plant a plant in the fall and think, oh, it's going to struggle through 90-degree days.
Okay.
We may have 2 or 3 90-degree days, or 4 days in September during our Indian summer, but we're not going to have 20 90-degree days in September, I doubt.
Right.
So you can think about if there's, let's say there's a hydrangea you're looking at, or let's say there's a landscape tree that you've been wanting. Fall is absolutely the best time for planting.
Okay.
Those shrubs, those trees, any of that kind of stuff.
Wonderful. Oh my goodness. So, do you recommend anything like for folks for hanging baskets?
In the fall?
Yeah. Or do you just say, oh, just put those away for the rest of the year?
Well, you know, hanging baskets are tough.
Man, they have not been my friend this year.
Yeah.
At all. Which
Well,
I'm okay with it. Now, my flowers that are in my landscaping, been great. Even through the drought, been great.
I'm
just
kind
can't
of
for the life of me. But
kind of a succulent person.
I-
And so there
yes.
are some very cool succulents that you might be able to use in the fall.
Okay.
But again, those are more setting on a tabletop to enjoy.
Yes.
And hanging baskets, as much as I love them, they're hard to maintain because you get them in the spring, they're big, they're beautiful. You hang them up somewhere.
Yes.
You get a lot of breeze going through them. You dry them out pretty quickly. And then
Yes.
there's a lot of how much do I water? When do I water?
Yes.
Do I keep them clipped back so I get lots more growth? I just like really cool succulents for fall. There's some really funky looking succulents out
they're
there.
gorgeous
They're
ones.
mums, they're
Yep.
pansies. There are asters that will come back year after year. And the one tip I want to leave you with is plant spring flowering bulbs. I don't care if you do not plant some kind of spring flowering bulb. My personal favorite is a tete-a-tete daffodil, which is a little daffodil that's about that high.
Yes.
And if we get through winter and we get through COVID-19 and we get through all of this, it reminds you that spring is coming and God is good.
You made me think of something.
Yeah,
I pulled up a bunch of bulbs.
yeah.
They've been drying out.
Uh-huh.
Plant them.
Yes.
I'm talking. I probably have 100. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
100.
Yeah.
Because
If
they just took over the front,
yeah.
and it was all. I
As
had to
long
do
as they don't
something.
have any mold or they don't have any mildew, and you can
should
you
be
can squeeze them and they're still tight and firm.
Yes. Okay.
Then go ahead and get those in the ground in the fall. Pointy side
Okay.
up, remember.
Pointy
Don't-
side up.
Pointy side up.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So
good.
yeah, spring blooming bulbs. Even if you just
you-
plant 10
Yes. Oh no, I agree with you.
in a
But do it in
place
the
you
fall,
can see
in the
them.
summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can also hostas you can break up,
Yep,
can't you?
yep, yep,
For the
yep.
next year. This is when you're going to
Absolutely.
cut them in half and
Fall's a
replant.
perfect time of year
Okay.
to do hosta
I just remembered
divisions, daylily divisions,
Okay.
anything that you've got. Make more plants with what you've got.
Perfect.
Make a lot more plants with what you've got.
Okay, wonderful. Connie Smith, she is the Master Gardner Coordinator at OSU Extension in Fairfield County. It's always awesome to have you. Thank you because you helped coordinate, have the 4-H girls with me today.
I love coming to talk to you. We've always got a
Oh.
lot to talk about.
We do, and she will definitely, if she will come back, I'm going to give her cookies. Maybe that will help entice her to want to come back again, you know.
Hey, and even though we're teleworking,
Yes.
740-653-5419, OSU is open 2 days a week. We can still help you with anything, but teleworking is kind of the name of the game for us right now.
Perfect. Thank
Okay.
you so much. I'll be back in a minute. It's down here with Tina.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference.
We were retiring from Tucson, Arizona, and we made a retirement trip out around Ohio, having decided that's where we wanted to be. And we came across this town called Lancaster, and we fell in love with the downtown area, where the fountain is, and the memorials, and the flags, and all this stuff. And we looked around, and I said, "There's our bank, right there."
There's something to be said about a community bank in your hometown.
Right. If you live in the community, you should do business in the community as much as possible. So it makes sense to bank with the community bank where you live.
Fairfield Federal is the bank to be at. If you live in this town, or any town actually, you want to bank at a local home bank. And the employees are happy here, they're conversant, customer service is through the roof. There's nothing more you could ask for.
Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back. It's Down Home with Tina, and I am Tina. And when I started my sewing projects a few weeks ago, I wanted to figure out the problems with how to fix my sewing machine when it was bunching up my thread. Well, I found out there are 2 things. One of them is that your bobbin can be too loose or too tight, and you've got to make sure that your bobbin just bounces just a little bit. It can't be too loose, so you got to make sure the tension on that is correct. If it is too tight or you need to loosen a little, there's a little screw here that you would do that. The second thing in your sewing machine that I realized that for years I thought my sewing machine was broken, and it wasn't, was the bobbin. The second thing is you've got to make sure that your sewing machine is threaded correctly. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't know how. It means that maybe something had happened throughout your sewing a piece of material that it kind of got off track, or something happened to where, anyways, it was messed up. You're going to know because it's going to bunch up your thread in your material, and you're going to get aggravated. It's going to keep bunching up if you don't make sure those 2 things are correct. I thought my sewing machine was broken, and it really wasn't, you guys. The skirt that I have here today, I do want to give another shout out here. My daughter made a matching mask for me, and I'm really glad that she did, and I brought it with me today because, as you saw, the 4-H kids and even Connie had to wear her mask. A lot of folks still do, so just do what you got to do to get by through what we are going through right now, and stay positive, you all. Blessings to you, and I hope to see you back next week. God bless. Good day.